Welcome to my channel, The World of Science Fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Asterisk. Captain Darren Holt had seen many strange things across the galaxy, but nothing prepared him for the moment a trembling. Foul-smelling alien was pushed into his arms in a crowded marketplace, buzzing with noise and cruelty. Her small frame shaking beneath filthy rags as merchants laughed at both of them. Darren had come only for ship parts, yet somehow he found himself paying $5, not out of desire, but out of discomfort, pity, and an unexpected pull he couldn't explain. Laughter echoed behind him as he led the creature away, his heart sinking when the glowing collar marked her as his bride, a forced marriage under local law. When he finally spoke to her aboard his ship, the translation device revealed her soft, fragile voice as she quietly introduced herself as Ritha and begged him not to hurt her, convinced she deserved nothing better. She apologized even for existing, and Darren felt something twist painfully inside him. Her smell was overwhelming, yet he sensed it came not from filth, but from terror so deep it had shaped her very body. Over time, he noticed the odor rising each time she flinched, each time she expected violence, each time she remembered the world that taught her she was nothing. When she finally gathered the courage to remove her rags, Darren froze, not because she was ugly, but because she wasn't. Beneath the grime was a delicate alien woman with soft lines, gentle eyes, and a sorrow that looked far older than her age. The smell eased slightly when she met his gaze, as if her body recognized safety for the first time. He cleaned her wounds, brought her proper food, and showed her small acts of kindness that left her confused, almost frightened of hope. Slowly, she began to trust him, leaning into his care, like someone rediscovering the meaning of comfort. But danger arrived too soon. The original owners, the slave hunters, appeared on scanners, demanding Ritha be returned. They claimed she was stolen property and warned they would kill them both. Darren wanted to flee, yet Ritha trembled violently, explaining that her species had once been peaceful and gifted, but had been enslaved generations ago, after invaders discovered their fear-scent defense mechanism. Their smell, once simply a biological reaction, became the reason they were mocked, abused, and treated as less than animals. Ritha herself had been born in a cage. Darren felt fury tighten in his chest as she spoke, and without hesitation, he chose to protect her. Their escape through asteroid fields was chaotic as alarms blared. Metal groaned, and debris scraped against the hull. Yet Ritha's hidden ability, her luminous sensory perception guided them perfectly through danger sensors couldn't detect. Slowly, Darren realized she wasn't weak. She was extraordinary, and everything cruel said about her species was a lie. Through the days that followed, their bond deepened in ways neither could fully understand. Ritha learned human words, shyly laughing when she mispronounced them, while Darren found himself drawn to the warmth in her eyes when she smiled. Her scent changed too, growing faint and sweet as her fear faded. She watched him as he worked, offering gentle help, eager to repay even the smallest kindness. He caught himself watching the glow in her eyes and the soft glimmer of her skin, fascinated by beauty he had once overlooked beneath fear and dirt. They shared meals, moments of silence, and conversations that stretched into late hours, until the distance between them felt almost impossible to maintain. Yet both feared saying the truth. They were falling in love in a universe that would never understand them. Peace didn't last. One night alarms blared again as the slave hunters returned, angrier and more prepared, threatening destruction on Darren's home colony if he refused to surrender Ritha. She stepped forward instantly, ready to sacrifice herself to protect him, tears trembling on her lashes as she whispered that she had already received more kindness from him than she had ever hoped for. But Darren grabbed her hand, refusing to let her go, declaring that she was no slave to be traded. She was his partner, his choice, his heart. The final battle was brutal and terrifying, as their ship shook beneath enemy fire and systems began to fail. But Ritha's abilities once again became their salvation. She sensed weak points in the enemy's formation, guiding Darren to outmaneuver them and trap the hunters inside a collapsing gravity field that swallowed their pursuit forever. When silence finally returned, Ritha collapsed into Darren's arms, overwhelmed by relief and disbelief. She whispered through tears that she didn't understand why he saved her, why he chose her, why he risked everything for someone like her. Darren looked into her glowing, terrified eyes and told her the truth, that she was not only worth saving, she was worth loving. She pressed her forehead to his, trembling, overwhelmed by emotions she had never been allowed to feel. Her scent changed again, warm and sweet, a final sign that her fear was gone. Ritha's tears glimmered as she whispered that no one had ever loved her. No one had ever fought for her. No one had ever believed in her. But Darren simply held her, whispering that destiny had brought them together through the strangest path, a $5 purchase that became the greatest miracle of his life. Ritha, once a trembling slave sold as a joke, now stood as the most precious part of his world. And together they stepped into their new life, free at last and bound by a love stronger than anything the galaxy had tried to break. If you enjoyed this emotional HFY sci-fi story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for more powerful space stories every day.